No, the title isn't bullshitting you. I got rich at 21 and I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it so you can just copy me. Now, obviously, saying just copy me, it's a little bit easier said than done, but I promise you I'm going to give you every little bit of detail that you need in order to achieve similar results, if not better results than what I've been able to do myself. Now, I'm not promising anything, because I think promises are bullshit in this instance, because I can tell you everything, but you need to be the person to actually take action, right? If you don't do anything, then it's not going to work, obviously, right? So I'm 21 now. I turn 22 next year in February, so I only turned 21 recently. I made my first million at 20. I made my first $100,000 at 19. But before that, I was completely broke, right? I had about $70 in my bank account when I was about the start of 18. I was moving in different places. I grew up extremely poor. I had no money. I didn't get fed all of this, right? This was built with my own bare hands, and we're going to do the same for you now. There are two sort of foundation pillars that you need to be able to make a lot of money online, right? So first thing that you need to know is stop listening to everything they see online. Now, that's super contradicting because I'm online telling you to do something, but obviously use this as you will, but stop listening to everything, right? The biggest thing that I think people have trouble with is that they watch so many different people on YouTube talking about the same thing to the point where everyone's giving them different pieces of information to the point where they don't know what to do, right? Now, this is why there's lack of action, because they do all these different things, they research all this different stuff, and they have all these business models that they could do, right? But they don't do any of them because they don't know which one's best, right? And to weigh the pros and cons of every single side hustle, it's extremely hard, right? Because there's pros and cons and everything for all different types of shit. So stop watching so many people, right? Because the truth is, you're not going to learn the next big secret, right? What I'm going to tell you isn't a secret. It's the truth. And I think that's what you need to hear, right? Because I'm not coming on here with a big fancy title saying that you're going to make $1 million tomorrow, blah, 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 start this dropshipping, buy my course, right? I'm not doing that. I'm not even selling you anything on this video. I know, fucking crazy, right? But it's the truth. Again, I don't want your money because you need it at the moment. You need it because you need to level up. Right, you need to start seeing life as a game, right? This is one thing. I'm going to give you a bit of insight of how I view life. Life is a game and you are the character, right? And every single age, let's say you're 16 to 17 to 20 to 30 to 30 plus, etc., there is different levels of life. When you're in school, you're fucking around with your friend, you're having fun, you're doing the things that you love to do, whatever, without any responsibilities, right? That's the first level. You can be immature, whatever, but as soon as you graduate school and you're out of school, life levels up. But what a lot of people do is they don't level up themselves. They don't level up the character while life is continuing to level up. So I know so many people that graduate at the same time as me, and they're watching my stuff. They're asking me for advice. When in high school, they were fucking around. They were the popular quote unquote kids, right? They would go to the parties, drink, and go to the clubs, right? It's currently Sunday. I've made about $4,000 already, and that's not the point. But I'm in the city at the moment where I grew up in Australia, and I could see everyone last night drinking, partying, walking around at about 9 p.m. at night. I could hear the music all night. I could hear everyone yelling. You can see the police cars and everything, right? I was looking at these people. They are my age, if not older. And today they are spending their time recovering while I'm out here making valuable information for you and making $4,000 before 9 a.m. Right? This is the different levels of life. There is levels to this shit. Literally, there is fucking levels. And if you do not level up, then you will never be successful. Right? So as soon as you get out of school, you need to cut out the people that aren't where you want to be, because you're going to do it in the future anyway. So if there's people that are constantly doubting you, constantly saying that you can't do something, constantly pushing you to do stuff that you really don't want to do, right? Let's say you don't really want to go out on the weekend, but people try and push you to go out. Cut them off, because they aren't the people that you want to be hanging out with. You're better off hanging out with no one. That's what I did. I spent my last 2 years in high school alone, And after that, I spent it alone as well, right? Because I had to work, I had to grind on myself because I was late to the party, right? I was drinking and doing dumb shit while other people were leveling up, and now they are making more money than me, right? I'm still trying to play catch up. This is the reality. There is levels to this. There is levels to money. I might be here, right? But there's a building literally right there that is like probably 15 stories higher, and they're living in there. And then there's a building over there that's probably about 5 stories higher than that. There is levels to this. Literally, you are on the bottom level. Let's be honest. That's the first thing you need to realize. A reality check. You are on the bottom level, right? So cut off the people, stop drinking, stop partying, and start leveling up, right? So go to the gym, start reading, start eating better, right? I eat the same thing every single day, literally. I eat the same thing. I've got money. I can go out and get the nice shit, but I'm trying to level up, right? So I eat the same thing every single day. I eat fucking chicken and rice with vegetables every single day, right? Do the shit that you need to do in order to be successful, right? I could honestly go fuck off to a different country right now and not have to worry about money. You cannot do the same. That's the first thing that you need to realize. You need to level up because life is a game and you need to play the game. If you don't play the game, then the game's going to leave you behind. Next thing that you need to understand is that $10,000 is a lot of money, right? And I know that a lot of you guys think that $10,000 might not be a lot of money because everyone's coming on here and saying that they've made $1 million or they've made 100, but we will start from somewhere, right? I remember I had $10,000 written on my whiteboard for like 5 years, but I never hit it. But now, I did about 10,000, then 20, then 30. And now I'm able to do the numbers that I'm hitting now and run the businesses and do the things that I love now, only because I was able to hit that $10,000. Now, $10,000 is by far the hardest number to hit. But when you hit it, life is so different, right? So one thing that you need to understand is that if you want to change your life, if you want financial or time or travel freedom, $10,000 is enough money to get you there, right? I don't want to fuck around and give you this bullshit. $10,000 is a lot of money, okay? The next thing, you already have the $1 million. You already have the $1 million skill. You do. And I bet you didn't expect me to say that, right? You already have the thing that you need to be successful. Now, this is what people won't tell you. They won't tell you this because they want to sell you their dropshipping course or their Forex course or whatever. But the reality is that the people that try and get into building a business straight away, they are the people that fail. Why? Because 65% of businesses in Australia fail, and that number is even higher in places like the United States, right? Why? Because the people that are building the businesses don't actually want to be building businesses. They build the businesses because people on YouTube tell you to build them because that's how you're going to make $10,000. But in reality, that's not true. And let me put it into comparison, right? So in the US, TikTok is getting banned. And there are hundreds of thousands of businesses on TikTok. 90% of them are going to fail and 10% of them are going to strive and probably make more money in the future. Why? Because 10% of those businesses focused on developing a skill to build their business off. Okay, so they had the foundation and they could be successful in any niche. They just decided to build a business on TikTok. And then the other 90%, they got lucky and they built a business and they got extremely lucky. Right time, right place, right moment. And they started making money, and now they think that they know everything because they had a business that was semi-successful, right? But the government literally stripped away TikTok, and now they're freaking out. Now they don't know what to do. They're panicking, right? One thing that I want you to realize is I don't want you to worry anymore. This is the biggest thing. I don't want you to stress and worry, right? I remember when I first started online, I was also reliant on TikTok. And then people started to report my TikTok account, and then it got banned. And I was literally freaking out because I was reliant on TikTok. It literally felt worse than me when I was reliant on my boss at my 9-to-5 job. I don't want you to be reliant on anyone anymore. That's the biggest thing that people honestly don't talk about. So develop the skill, because a skill is going to make you millions. A business is going to keep you broke. Right? If you want financial freedom, travel freedom, and just to live a better life, then $10,000 in learning skills will get you there. Right? That's what I did. Now, to rewind a little bit, you already have the skill. So let's say you're selling burgers. Let's say you work at Hungry Jack's, McDonald's, Burger King, or let's say you're at Foot Locker selling shoes or selling clothes at fucking Big W or Kmart or whatever the fuck you have in your country, right? You are selling and making the company that you're working for hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, right? That is what you are doing. Now, you might not be selling hard like what you think I'm saying, but you are communicating, right? If for a sale to happen, there needs to be a transaction between one person and another. But for that transaction to happen, there needs to be communication, right? So if you communicated with someone before they purchased something from you, that means that you were a part of that sale, okay? Because the transaction happened, which means that you are using the skill of sales to make the company that you work for hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? I remember if I look back, I was making the company that I worked for anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 every single day. And I was making $48,000 a year, right? I was making pennies when the company I was working for was making millions. And I was only one person. There was like 200 to 300 other people in the same call center. So they were making hundreds of thousands of dollars every single day. And guess what? I still got into shit. I still couldn't take leave when a family member was in hospital. I still had to ask to go to the bathroom. I was still being pushed every single day to do more. And if I didn't make more than $12,000 for the company a day, I was then having to go to these fucking private meetings with the team leader and talk about my behavior. What the fuck? What world are we living in? That is the world that we're living in. It's fucked. You know, I would make the company so much money. I would get up every single day, work literally all day, every single day, and overtime, but still get these bullshit team meetings talking about my behavior. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Right? So move. I'm not saying quit your job. You need your job to supplement, right? But what I'm saying is that you have the skill because you're using it now. Transition that skill to something that can actually generate you and is actually capable of making you a lot more money, and you will be successful. That is the key. That is what I did. That is exactly what I did to be successful, right? I had the skill already. I moved over and I was looking online to see how I can implement this skill and make more money. This is what you should be doing. You know everything. Stop watching videos to try and learn things. You already have the information. You just need the boat to row in to start generating the money. Now, you probably value yourself extremely low, right? So if you're working your job, I'm telling you that you can make $1 million with your skill, but you're only making $50,000 a year. You're probably thinking, well, Nathaniel, it's not possible because you are subconsciously valuing yourself extremely low. You value yourself by the dollars that you make, not the skills that you have. And this is what the businesses and the companies that you work for want you to think. They want you to want more, right? That's why the corporate ladder and the chain goes up and up and up. Because you might have $1 million skills, but you're only making $40,000 a year. So in hindsight, you must think, okay, I'm only valued at $40,000. I need to climb up, and so I can make $100,000 and become a manager. But in reality, you're literally using the exact same skills. If not, you're using less, because the higher you climb the corporate ladder, the less work you do. Right? So it's a little bit bullshit, but that's the reality, right? This is how things are. You need to make the change happen yourself. So I told you a few years ago, I did about $170,000 in a single year. I was using the first pillar of sales. So there's 3 pillars. First pillar is communication, which you're already doing. I transitioned, used those skills. I started selling high ticket items online for coaches that already had a business and a personal brand, which means I didn't need to build a business or a personal brand because they already had it. I was just messaging people for them, which means I was just communicating, and I made about $170,000 for the year, right? I'll pop a screenshot right there because, again, I want this to be as no bullshit as possible, right? And then a year goes by, I learned a lot of valuable skills. I then started to build my own businesses and things like that because I was ready, because I had the skills. And then I started having to take sales calls for my own business. Last year, I enrolled over 1,000 people, right? So I'll pop a screenshot here of the exact number of people that I enrolled in 12 months, which was over 1,000. And that's how I made over $1 million. So I was booking appointments, so I was messaging, and I was also taking the sales calls, and that's how I made $1 million. And now all I do is I do all of it. So I run the business, I do the messaging, and I take the calls, right? I am now my own boss, right? I'm in control of absolutely everything. But when you're first starting, that is exactly how I would go, right? So use your skills, take it online, look for people that are charging high ticket. What is high ticket? People that are charging anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a month, okay? Look for those people, join those people in their journey, offer them value, say, hey, look, I'll send your messages for you. All you need to do is take the calls. I'll send the messages. You're saving time. All I want is 5-10% commission. You then make anywhere from $500 to $1,000 every sale, because again, it is high ticket, and high ticket is things around $8,000 to $10,000. Do that. You can do that forever if you want, but if you want to make more money, then you transition from the communication to the actual sales. You do that, you make a lot more money, then you can transition from the sales to the building of the business if you want. That is exactly how I did over $1 million by the age of 21. Well, I did that at 20, okay, but I'm 21 now. I turned 21 in February of this year. So yeah, so that's it. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you were able to learn something, or at least gain some sort of information, or at least I hope this made a switch flip in your head that, okay, you are worth more. You just need to start chasing more, right? So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, drop them below. But I'll see you guys on the next video. See you then.